Hello there, this is Rom Wills, about to give you that raw game. Yeah, today I'm going to talk about that Gigolo thing. And, it's interesting how I even thought about this particular subject. And, just before I go any further, I'm not going I ain't talking about like those high price, living in like some luxury apartment gigolos. I'm just talking about the ordinary stuff that go on day to day, right below the radar, where basically men are getting gifts and money and whatever from women. Now, the thing that made me think about it, right? Because I've known a lot of colorful ass people in my life. I'm just seriously, if I just wrote, man, I need to actually just write down like a story, change the names, leave all the attorneys I know out of it, and then just, you know, let it go. And people wouldn't believe it. It's like, but I'm just like sometimes I watch some shit on TV and I'm just like, yeah, been there, done that. So anyway, I was thinking about I thought about this dude I know, old school player. Like people who are familiar with that whole pimp Mac player thing. This was a straight up Mac. This dude was at a high level. Now he wasn't in the game like as a pimp or something, because actually he was a police officer. And on a for real, a lot of police officers they really are like Denzel Washington's character in Training Day, Alonzo Harris. Seriously, the Blue Gang ain't no joke. Anyway, that dude was telling me about this homeless dude that he knew, and encountered. And he said he looked at the homeless dude. He was like, dude, why are you like without a home and without money? Do you see where we are? And, he was talking about an area in D.C. that had a whole lot of single women with money. He told the dude, he said, look, go to the Goodwill, get you a good suit and some shoes. They'll probably just give it to you, right? Go to this club, and he named this club. I forget what the name of the club was, but I knew what he was talking about. He said, go to this club, go to the bar, get you some water, put a lemon in it. Sit there and nurse that water with that lemon in it. Cross your legs and just wait. He said, pretty soon some women gonna come up to you. All you have to do is pick one and let her take you home. And, I thought about it. I was just like, he's right. I mean, really, this dude was right. There were a lot of thirsty women in that area. This was in the Washington, D.C. area back in the day. You had like women from all over the country, working in the government there, very well educated, those strong and independent women. And, of all races and whatnot. And, they had their condos, houses, had their cars. Ain't had no man. Because sometimes those women work so hard to get that piece of paper, they forget they got to do something for the man. And they end up not having one. So they end up, to get everything and they're alone. In fact, this same dude, he tried to recruit me to be an escort. But it was an escort for fat women. And I looked at him. I said, "Well, I don't know, man. I don't know if I really want to mess with any fat women like that, right?" He said, "Shoot, you can get $300 or $400." I looked at him. I said, "How fat we talking?" Yeah, I won't finish the rest of that story publicly. Anyway, I really, I thought about that. And, I thought about another time too, right? And this was when I was selling my books at this speed dating event, right? And I wasn't even a part of the event because, I was just selling the books and I was involved at the time. It's like when I'm actually in a relationship, I'm actually very monogamous. So I was just chilling, and then they went through the women went through the guys there, and I don't think any real connections was made. And it was a point I was talking with this one woman there. We were just talking. I didn't think about it because when I'm selling my books, that's usually how the case goes. I'm usually talking with somebody. One of those instances where I'm just chopping it up with a woman, and she just telling me some shit. You know, and after she finished, another woman sat in her place. And I ain't think anything of it because, I'm trying to sell books. A brother had to feed his babies. And then another one sat there. And I was like, hold up. They done put me in this event. I didn't even want to be a part of it. But, I wasn't really surprised, though. I wasn't surprised at all. Because many women out there are thirsty. Now, about that gigolo thing. These women thirsty enough, they will pay for that dick. In fact, hell, I'm gonna be honest, they ain't even necessarily just gonna pay for the dick. They gonna pay for a good conversation. If your ass is ghetto, conversating. They will pay for just a good conversation. You have some women out there, and there's actually another dude I knew. He said that. He said, we should just do something where the men and women can just sit there and talk, because these women, they are pressed. I mean, thirsty. Like, a lot of women like talking about how thirsty all these dudes are out here. Like, these dudes are thirsty, and they make these thirsty comments. Man, have y'all looked in the eyes of some of these women lately? Especially the ones who probably ain't rating like 8 or above on the infamous scale. Shoot, those women, they looking average. They might have decent bodies, but they ain't, what? Dudes are not going to be passing their pictures around on social media and giving them thirst comments. And these women are thirsty, and they're especially thirsty for a man they deem sexually desirable. Usually, not even necessarily good looking, but just with a guy with just a good body. Because, like, as one of my students, dude I mentored a long time, he said it best. He said, other than a college football town, you don't see a lot of dudes walking around with muscular bodies. So when women see that, they likely to go crazy, and they'll pay for it. I mean, I've known some dudes just on that like small scale. And like I'm saying, I'm not even getting into like those high stakes gigolos and all of that who be traveling all over the country and stuff and be advertising on the internet and be doing TV shows on Showtime and whatnot. I ain't even talking about that level. I'm just talking about some ordinary cats who probably work in some ordinary job somewhere. Women will come up and maybe not even so much as give them money, but will buy them stuff. Like if a dude, especially if he kind of young too, a woman to get in there and she'll start dressing that dude. She'll start buying him clothes. She'll buy him gifts. Let him drive her car. And see, a lot of dudes mistakenly think that these women are controlling that man, but that's because they're on the outside looking in. Because look, this is how that gigolo thing works. As I state, and as I always state, as I continuously state, women choose the men. Any true player knows that. Women choose the man. So when the woman chooses a man, she gives a man those choosing signals, right? The man, if he's smart, he don't necessarily reciprocate. He kind of lay back. He kind of be like, that woman's gonna try harder. Now she done tried with whatever sex appeal she got, and that's not seemingly getting the dude's attention. So some of them might just straight up tell him, "Look, I'll give you money, or I'll buy you something." It was like, "Hey, you know what? Let's go to dinner." I'm gonna tell you what, and I'm gonna share some personal shit with me. They was, especially back in the day, not so much now, because I'm dealing with older women now, but back in the day, I ain't had to spend too much money on anything. I meet some women, they tell me straight up, hey, I'll take you out to dinner. I say, take me out to dinner? Yeah, I'll take you out to dinner. I had two women pay for the motel. Two different women pay for the motel 2 weeks straight. Would have been 3 weeks straight, but that woman had her own place. So it's just like women when they get pressed, they get turned on sexually. They lose their mind. I mean, some of the smarter dudes, especially got good body, they'll graduate into becoming a high stakes gigolo, or maybe an exotic dancer. And it's funny, I was actually offered a chance to actually do that one time. I think I talked about this in another video. A woman needed a dancer for some party or something, right? And she was like, "Hey, you can do it." And I was like, I don't got no rhythm. Seriously, I can't catch a beat. And it's like I just go up there and do what I want. She was like, woman looked at me. It's like, Rom, they ain't gonna really be paying attention whether you on rhythm or not. Just go there, just strip down or something. It's like, damn. Nah, I ain't do it at the time. I was like, I wasn't getting into stuff like that because I had political aspirations way back in the day. You know, y'all supposed to be blaming everything on President Wills, not President Obama, straight up. But that's that's neither here nor there. Now, but that gigolo thing is very interesting because it's not something like a lot of dudes going to even be familiar with because on the for real, most dudes ain't going to be chosen like that. Most dudes, if they meet a woman, that woman is already saying, well, you got to have this level of credit. You got to have this. You got to pay money to get with this. But see, the other men, especially if he's the good man, the woman, shoot, she knows she got to come up with something to get that man's attention. Because he ain't gonna mess with her. And he don't have to. Because usually once a man reaches that kind of level and stuff, right, where women are constantly choosing on him, he got several women choosing. So, one, that woman got to compete with other women. Now, some might compete just with the pussy. But then, if a dude getting it from five other women, you know, even if that pussy got a cape hanging out of it, she got the best grip on the planet. That dude still got options, so he ain't gonna really put up with anything. He's gonna be like, well, hold up, yeah, the pussy good, but the other one got some good head, got a good head game on her, and that other one, shoot, she got that reverse cowboy shit down to an art, So the woman gotta come with something extra. So that's the one she gotta come with gifts. She gotta like come with some money. She might be buying them some shit. And it's like I mean that's just how it is. That's just how it is. And it's interesting. It's interesting because, you know, depending on who you hang with, a lot of guys just can't relate to that. And really, a lot of guys don't need to relate to that anyway because if a woman coming with money, if she got to use money or gifts to get a man, there's some other issues with her. There might be some shit that she needs to work on. But that ain't the conversation for today. And one thing I would say though, with the way things are going now in relationships, I predict there's going to be a steady rise in gigolos. Whether it's that dude who's just getting like a good dinner, he getting a good chicken dinner from someplace, from some like thirsty woman, to dudes who might need a place to sleep at night. And like, that's a part of that game too. You get some homeless dudes, they like stroking some women. They just need a place to shower and everything like every few days. To the high stakes ones who like traveling and shit. They traveling all over the country. I actually know one dude. Shoot, I don't even want to talk about his shit because he's on some different level shit. This dudes be millionaires who don't feel like fucking their wives no more be paying this dude to fuck their wives. I'm like, shit. That's a real shit right there. But I predict that whole gigolo thing going to explode. In fact, just like we seeing the legalization of marijuana, we're going to see the legalization of different forms of prostitution in more places when people figure out, hey, we can make some money, just tax that shit. And I know some people might have some moral issues with that, but first of all, you got too many single women out here, and I'm saying women. We'll get into you know women, getting into that money game for men in another video. But we got too many single women out here. They lonely. They going crazy, and they're going to get theirs. They actually need theirs. And I know some cats. They shoot. They doing some, I'll say, some shady shit to get at these women. But one day it's going to explode, whether legal or illegal. It's going to explode because you got all these women. They thirsty. They pressed. Cause even if you really look at it, like a lot of dudes think, well, a lot of dudes on that level where they getting rejected by the women, but there's certain men these women are pressed for, and they're gonna go after, and they will pay. They will pay, and I mean, that's just how it is. So, interesting subject. This don't have to be that long, 20-minute one. I don't have to be deep all the damn time, or talk about who doing what out there. So anyway, that's it for this video, and I'll holler at y'all later. Oh, and remember, all y'all women out there, be sure and tip. Peace.